Tonight, Johnny Cueto returns to the city and ballpark where his big league career started 9 years ago. Cueto came up as a Red in 2008 and won 92 games in 8 years in Cincinnati. Now a member of the Giants, Cueto's been dazzling and is one of their aces early in the season. Johnny Cueto returns to take on the Reds, and it's coming up next. The Giants move on to Cincinnati. As we come to you from Great American Ballpark, this is game one of a 3-game series, Giants and Reds. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. Well, the Giants won yesterday. They needed a win in New York, and they got it behind Madison Bumgarner. Now it's Johnny Cueto time. And who'd have thought he's pitching where he started out his career?
Well, and I think in that regard, it's going to be a bit of a playoff game for him when you pitch against your former teammates. And there's a lot of guys on this club that he teed it up with for a long time. There's always a little something extra. In the time that we've known him, he doesn't get too excited about many things. I do believe his heart will be pumping a little bit faster tonight. The other guy that is a great story is Mac Williamson. Has been called up a second time. He is in the lineup tonight. Lots of power. This is a small ballpark, and we'll keep an eye on Mac Williamson as well.
Yeah, and he was red hot in Sacramento. All right, it's Cueto, the former Red, facing the Reds. It should be fun tonight. Stay tuned. We'll take you to our CSN Bay Area studios for an update, and we'll do that right after this.
Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places.
Visit beachboardwalk.com for park hours. 63 degrees here at the yard. It's a nice night. Light winds, humidity at 67%, and it is nice and a bit overcast. Here's the Giants lineup. It'll be Span, Duffy, and Posey. Hunter Pence. Hey, he's the NL Player of the Week. He is hitting cleanup, followed by Belt. Just called up Mac Williamson, followed by Crawford, Tomlinson, and Johnny Cueto. Welcome back.
On the hill tonight for the Cincinnati Reds will be the 22-year-old, 5'11", 200-pound Brandon Finnegan. And Finnegan in 5 starts this year. Off to a pretty good start, 1-1 with a 3.86 ERA. Everything is good. Only 20 hits allowed in 28 innings, 23 strikeouts in 28 innings. That's good. The bad is 15 walks. He can get a wild hair up his nose, but he is dominating right-handed pitching. Righties hit just a $169 against him. Interesting that lefties hit him better. What he throws you is a fastball that'll go low to mid-90s, more lows than mids, and he has kind of a slurvy breaking ball and a changeup. Brandon Finnegan from Fort Worth, Texas. Just about a year's time in the big leagues. What do you say we take a look at the defense playing behind Finnegan for the Reds, starting in their outfield? It'll be Schebler, Hamilton, and Bruce, the best arm in right field with Bruce, and it's a good one. DeJesus and Suarez on the left side, Phillips and Votto on the right side. Tucker Barnhart, he'll be in the squad, putting down the signs.
Giants coming off a nice win yesterday in New York behind Madison Bumgarner. Trying to get started on the right track here in Cincinnati. Span stands in, and the first pitch of the ball game is a called strike. So we get started at 7:11. Span hitting at 245, and he wraps this one on the ground foul. It's 0-2. He's got a home run. He's got 12 driven in. He's never faced Finnegan before, at least not during the regular season. James Hoy behind the dish. Fairchild, Joyce, and Hudson from first to third. Driven to left. Schebler will come in and make the catch, and that's how this game gets started.
All right, time now for our Nissan keys to the game. And number 1, Cueto settle in. I mean, we haven't seen him too rattled about anything, but coming back against your old team, that can rattle you. He needs to find the calm quickly. And number 2, breakout, Big Mac. Mac Williamson back in the big leagues a second time. He is red hot out of Sacramento, and he's in a small ball yard tonight. Those are our Nissan keys to the game.
Big Mac. Here's Duffy hitting at 263. Really started to see his average go up in New York, and it was going up because the ball was finally falling in for him. With Buster Posey to follow. Out of play, it's 0-2.
James Hoy, the plate umpire, is a good zone. It's a low zone, and you will get width on both sides of the plate. And he's not the kind of umpire that you have to put the ball between the catcher's knees to get a strike. He has his zone. What you get in the first, you get in the ninth. It's a good zone to pitch to. Not many high strikes.
Just outside, it's 1-2.
Finnegan thought he had strike 3 right there.
Big chopper. DeJesus got him. Nice play.
All right, time now for our Togo's big play, the Togo's way. And yesterday against the Mets, Buster Posey stepped in against Logan Verrett and did this. For Posey, home run number 4, a solo shot. And we're going to make that our Togo's big play as he steps in the batter's box tonight.
Buster hitting at 284. You just saw his 4th home run. He's got 8 driven in. Hunter Pence to follow. And Buster on the first pitch wraps it into left field for a base hit. So Posey aboard. And that'll bring up Pence. Haven't seen the sun all day, and it now has just popped out.
Oh, it's really a beautiful day, and it's ideal for baseball. I mean, it was cold in New York yesterday. Today, perfect temp.
Yeah, we had a chance to thaw out today. So Pence hit his 5th home run of the season yesterday. And he takes a strike. He hit it off of Noah Syndergaard. He hit it to the opposite field. Later on, picked up another RBI. He leads this team with 22. Off the plate, 1 ball and 1 strike.
I tell you, he's not missing much. Those are close. Finnegan likes that third base side of the rubber. Not a lot of left-handers get over to that side of the rubber on the mound. The slab, as John Miller would say.
Dribbled foul. McDonald's true stories. Hunter Pence, named National League Player of the Week. .421 average, .500 on base percentage, .895 slugging, 2 home runs, a triple, a double, 10 RBIs. It's the 4th career NL Player of the Week. 2 with the Astros, 2 with the Giants. Got him, and that'll end the inning. Giants pick up a hit, strand 1. Cueto coming out. Reds are coming up. Facing a lot of these guys are really good friends of Johnny Cueto. It'll be Hamilton, DeJesus, and Joey Votto, and he's one of them. You see Votto's career numbers. He can hit. He's a little cold right now, but he can hit. Phillips, Bruce, and then Suarez. Shebler will hit in the 7th slot. Then it's Barnhart and Finnegan 9th.
On the hill tonight for the Giants will be Johnny Cueto, the 30-year-old, in his 9th year at the big league level, 5'11", 220-pounder, out of San Pedro de Macorís, the Dominican Republic. And this is what he has done in 5 starts. A great month of April, 4-1 with a 2.65 ERA, 33 strikeouts and 35 walks. And when you take your at-bats against him, you're going to see a fastball that can go 88 to 95, depending on the mood, the count, the situation. And with Johnny Cueto, he does a lot of pitching that way. I mean, you don't really know what type of motion he's going to give you out of the windup or really out of the stretch. He can quick pitch it. He can give you a big upper body turn. Curveball, slider, his changeup of late has just been lights out. And he's a dart thrower with whatever he throws.
And here's the very speedy Billy Hamilton. And Hamilton takes a high strike, and it's 0-1. Hamilton at 220. He's got a home run. He's got 4 driven in. And he's just a pest. You just hate to have this guy lead off an inning by getting on base. Mac Williamson is fairly shallow in left. Duffy is way in at third, as you would expect. And if you're at short or second, you also cheat in a little bit. Crawford digs it out on one hop. 1 out.
Let's take a look at that Giants defense playing behind Johnny Cueto tonight, starting in the Giants outfield from left to right. It's going to be Williamson, Span, and Pence. Good arms on the corner with Williamson and Pence. Crawford, Duffy on the left side of the infield. Tomlinson, Belt on the right side. Buster Posey, he'll be in the squad. Joe Panic getting another day with his grade 1 groin pull, and Angel Pagan getting a day with his grade 1 left hamstring pull.
It's amazing that you and I are working. We've got both of those.
Yeah.
There's a pitch high to DeJesus hitting 125. He's got a home run. He's got 4 driven in. And a call strike. He can stay around 90, 91, and then every once in a while he'll hit one a little higher than that.
Oh, he definitely is not a max guy. Like you say, he'll cruise low 90s and then zip you at 95 and a 2-strike.
Was that the shimmy?
That was the shimmy. I like the shimmy. All right, shimmy. Here we go. What does this remind you of?
It looks like Charles Barkley's golf swing.
Well, now that you mention it.
Hit high and foul and out of play.
You know, you just think the guy is just having fun. I mean, to him, I see people do stuff like that in backyard wiffle ball games. He does it in the big leagues.
He does. This is hit to left. That's going to be a base hit. Williamson's going to cut it off, and as you said, he's got a good arm, so now Cueto will pitch in the stretch to his old friend Joey Votto. I think Joey Votto said in the paper today that all the years he spent in the minor leagues, he said, I probably spent more time with Johnny Cueto than anybody else. And then, of course, they get to the big leagues together. And a strike, and it's 0-1. So it's likely that these two know each other extremely well, but have never been put in this spot.
Unless it was a rare inter-squad game in spring training. It is weird pitching against your old teammates. Votto coming off his worst month in his big league career. The month of April, he was stone cold. Although the last couple of days he's starting to put it together. He's just a pure hitter, a balanced guy, and he does not go out of the strike zone. He's often been criticized for that, but he's not. He just doesn't change. He will take his walks.
Crawford not at your usually double play depth. He's deep and playing close to being behind the bag at second. Outfield straight away. 2-2.
And he threw that ball by him. Look at Johnny Joey Votto's shoes. I don't think the Big Red Machine would have had anybody wearing those shoes. I mean, he's got beige and red and black and gold.
Well, as long as there's a little red in it, you're good.
That's it. That's all he needs.
Rolled on the ground, foul. It stays at 2-2.
When the Big Red Machine was rolling back in the 70s, it was Joe Morgan's team. Pete Rose, Johnny Bench, and Tony Perez, and Ken Griffey, and Dave Concepcion. It was an unbelievable team, but they had the most conservative look about them with their uniforms. Old style wool leggings, and everybody had solid black shoes.
But that was the law of the land. They had to wear it that way. They didn't have a choice.
No facial hair, short haircuts. There was just an image that they all were part of, and that was the most incredible hitting machine 1 through 8 you'd ever saw. They were unbelievable.
Got him.
Late on 2 fastballs, and I've never seen that with Joey Votto.
Could have been thinking about something else, maybe.
Yeah, you're right. But I mean, we're not talking about 95s either. 2-seam, 91-mile-an-hour fastball. Second time in the at-bat that he blew a fastball right through him.
Here's Phillips. Phillips at 273. He's got 1 home run, 7 runs batted in. DeJesus with a 1-out single. Now he's at first with 2 down. Outside corner call strike, and it's 0-1.
Brandon Phillips got nothing out of that pitch.
Cueto nods his head. Posey sets up away again, and it's hit out of play. 0-2.
He had a chance to play with Pete Rose, who has more hits than anybody ever played the game, for 1 year. And even when he was going to go up there and take a pitch, he would always get something on the pitch that he was going to take. He would time his back leg to that pitch. And guys go up there with the mode that they're going to take a pitch that don't do that. They miss an opportunity. They don't get anything out of the pitch. And Phillips did that the first pitch of this at bat.
Just outside. 93.
Great 0-2 pitch right there. And that's the highest velocity so far tonight. And you will see him have his highest velocities in those 2 strike counts. Put you to sleep with 1 speed and try and zip you when he's ahead in the count.
That's a fair ball, and it's across the diamond, and that'll end the inning. Cueto gives up a hit. Mac Williamson is going to hit this inning. It's 0-0.
Area is brought to you by AAA. Get a free Giants all-season blanket. Restrictions apply. Go to AAA.com/Giants or to a AAA branch for details.
Well, check out the Silver Slugger 3-pack. Access to 3 games, including the June 25th game. That's against the Phillies. And the Giants are giving away a Madison Bumgarner bobblehead to the first 40,000 fans, courtesy of Chevron. sfgiants.com/minipacks. Here's Belt. It'll be Belt, Williamson, and Crawford facing Brandon Finnegan. And Belt takes low. Belt behind Pence in the RBI department. Belt's got 18. He's hitting .289. Look out. 2-0.
I don't know how he got out of the way of that. That was a heat seeker.
Yeah, that's what you call backing that hitter off the plate. Overshift is on. There's a high strike. So we're seeing some high strikes from James Hoy. Three and one.
Hasn't quite got the feel of that changeup yet. And right now, I think Finnegan's best asset is that fastball. It's got a nice little jump at the end of it.
Belt wraps one foul down the right field line.
Heads up down there. Watch your lips. No gloves. Yeah, that young man has a glove. That a bit. And the Giants fan. That's my boy.
Anyway. Think he brought Dad to the game?
Yeah, that's the way to represent, young man.
Belt on the ground, foul.
He is styling. Yeah, I think Dad's a Reds fan. And this young man gets it. It means only one thing. Mom's a Giants fan.
Yep. And Belt takes the walk. Here's Mac Williamson.
That's 20 walks on the year for Brandon Belt. On base percentage in the 400s. Smile, Smooth.
Good Giants fans here. Williamson was tearing it up in Sacramento. And he takes a strike. Hitting .355, 22 for 62. And in his last 15 games, 4 home runs and 18 RBIs. And what the Giants did is they went with one less pitcher when they called Williamson up.
Stephen Okert was sent back to Sacramento, which leaves the Giants with a 7-man bullpen. First time they've done that all year long. But both injuries to Pagan and Panic are not injuries that put him on the DL, so they needed an extra guy.
Look out. Foul.
When you have a 13-man staff and an 8-man bullpen, you only have 4 extra guys on the bench, and if 2 of them are guys that you're only going to be able to pinch hit with, then you need another body. So Mac Williamson, who was red hot, earned his way back up here, and here he is in the starting lineup.
Allowed foul, and it's 1-2. And allowed hit by pitch.
A little slurvy breaking ball, just, and he was trying to throw it to his back foot, and he literally hit the back leg.
So here's Crawford. A rally for free, as you like to say.
Just glanced off of the right thigh. And you know, it's true. I mean, if you're out there and you're Finnegan, you're thinking, I'm doing this myself. Put myself in the stretch. I put a guy in scoring position, and nobody's had to swing the bat to do it.
And a breaking ball for a called strike. Crawford dribbles one, foul. And it's a quick 0-2. So Belt and Williamson were on the move. A couple of big boys on the bases for the Giants.
Well, you're right. Belt at 6'5", Mac Williamson at 6'4". Both about between 230 and 250, somewhere in there.
Baseball snatched them from football. Outside to Crawford, 1-2.
I think Finnegan's breaking ball is better out of the stretch right now than it was in the windup. And I think that Tucker Barnhart, the catcher for the Reds, feeling the same way. That's why he keeps calling him.
Nice play by Barnhart. It's 2-2. That had a free 90 feet for both base runners written all over it.
Yeah, that's a good block.
Here's what we were talking about during the open. Cody Reed and John Lamb, yeah, but also Brandon Finnegan for Johnny Cueto. 2-2. Crawford to left, but right at Schebler, who makes the catch. 1 out. And that'll bring up Kelby Tomlinson. Tomlinson in the game yesterday went 0 for 3. He was 1 for 8 in that New York series. I really believe that he's a guy that if he plays more, he gets better. He gets into a rhythm. Young guys have a hard time coming off the bench sometimes. Well, this is his 3rd start in a row, and he takes low 1-0.
You watch his swing. I mean, it's really compact. He's got it's about as small a load of the bat as you could possibly have. It's almost like he's punching at the ball. It's so compact.
And that'll be a base hit to right field, and here comes Belt. And wisely, Belt was held up.
You're not going to challenge Jay Bruce in right field. I mean, he's got one of the best arms in the National League, and it's an accurate arm.
Plus, it's a small ballpark. Outfielders don't play as deep.
Well, and they really sort of choked the right side of the field in the outfield. I mean, they brought him in shallow. They know that Tomlinson likes to go to right. They don't respect him that he can hit the ball over his head, so they play shallow.
Cueto does not have an RBI this year. He's 1 for 13. Votto is in, thinking that Cueto might bunt. Instead, he drives one under the glove of Votto and into right field. Belt scores. Here comes Williamson. He scores. And the Giants lead 2-0. Votto can't believe that ball got under his glove.
Phillips can't believe that ball got under his glove. I mean, you talk about a CNI ground ball. So his first at bat coming back to Cincinnati, and he does this with the bases loaded. And that's a ball that both guys probably should have had, certainly for Votto. Cueto taking the fastball away like you're supposed to. They played him well off the line. I mean, they had him played almost perfectly.
Here's Span. And Span takes low and in. Mike, watch Finnegan. It wouldn't have mattered.
Nobody at first. If he catches that ball, Finnegan is a spectator on the mound, and they had nowhere to go.
This is hit on the ground, and that's one, and not in time. Tomlinson scores. It's 3-0. RBI number 13 for Denard Span.
Well, they played the middle infield to back, and he took what they gave him.
That's one where you're glad you didn't hit the ball hard.
Giants pitchers, 11 RBIs, and that leads the major leagues.
So here's Duffy with Span at first. Duffy had a high chopper that DeJesus at short made a really nice play on. Just outside. Belt walked. Williamson got hit by a pitch, and that was the beginning of this 3-run rally here in the second.
Would not be surprised to see Span try and steal a base here with 2 outs. It's a good idea for a couple of reasons. Number one, Finnegan's not that quick out of the stretch, and Burkhart does not have that strong of an arm. But
Giants had their way yesterday, right?
Well, they really did. I mean, yesterday with Noah Syndergaard, who's one of the slowest out of the stretch, and Kevin Plawecki, the catcher for the Mets, who doesn't have a strong arm, they really ran wild. 4 stolen bases in that game.
It was interesting reading 2 different versions in the New York papers this morning. One columnist, this is a big deal. Syndergaard can't. The other guy, nobody cares. Just want to throw him, see him throw 98. Duffy takes outside, 3-0.
Well, I went through it like a lot of young pitchers do, you know, and you come up, you think you can strike everybody out. And I had an old pitching coach, Mike Rourke, told me you need to respect the game, and you need to take care of your catcher, because you're making him look bad every time that you allow a stolen base because you're slow out of the stretch. And I tell you, when it happened to me in spring training when we're playing the A's, and saw Ricky Henderson for the first time. He stole 2 bases standing up. And Steve Swisher, Nick Swisher's father, was catching. He came out, he says, you know what, just go from the windup. And that's when I need to make the change. And you did.
Span goes, and it's ball 4. Well, look, you want to know when it's going to really bother Syndergaard and the Mets? In postseason.
It absolutely is.
I mean, the regular season, you know, you can rock along and they're going to be good and they'll probably make the playoffs. But when you get involved in those 1-run games in postseason,
teams are so evenly matched, and 90 feet that's a big deal. So Mark Reagan's the pitching coach for the Reds coming out. And when you have a meeting on the mound, it's brought to you by Ring Central, business communications made simple.
Mr. Posey is going to hit.
You really do handle 22-year-old pitchers with kids' gloves, especially when an inning's going against them. You seldom see a pitching coach or manager go out there and just get in a guy's grill. If anything, you're going to go out there and you're going to calm him down, because he's already starting to freak out. He's got 3 runs on the board. He's walked a couple guys. He's hit a batter. So he's a bit rattled. For Riggins, you saw.
Didn't cover first.
Didn't cover first.
And he's got to face this guy. And Posey hooks the first one foul.
And Posey has to get a new bat. You know, and if you're Mark Riggins, you know, you go out there and you give him a pep talk. You say, you know, you're here because you can get Buster Posey out. That's why you're here. Make me look good. Just something along those lines.
Yeah. A little Jimmy Swaggart, maybe?
Yeah.
Is he even around anymore? I don't even know him. Is Jimmy Swaggart around anymore? Oh, we're getting the big in this booth. Yeah.
Not a believer.
Our guys in the booth here are watching cartoons on Sunday.
A long inning for Johnny Cueto. Of course, it did help that he was on the base pass.
Yeah, part of it. He is the reason. Foul back. Both cheeks into that one for Posey. 1-2. How do you think the Braves are going to do in New York this weekend or this week?
Hey, they may surprise you.
Maybe tomorrow.
How's it going today?
4-0 second inning Mets.
What we found out about the New York Mets is they've got a good team.
Yeah, they are good.
And the Braves have had a little trouble getting out of the blocks. They're 6-18 as a team.
Low to Posey. 2-2. Cueto watching. Pence on deck. Belt standing on the top step. They're lining up. Got him. And that'll end the inning. Johnny Cueto picks up his first 2 RBIs of the year. And the Giants lead 3-0.
For our Ford Ride choice, we go back to last Tuesday. Giants taking on the Padres at AT&T, and Johnny Cueto on the hill, and he was dealing. For Cueto, his 13th career complete game, 7th career shutout. He 7-hit the Padres. He walked 1. He struck out 11 on 119 pitches. That is our Ford Right choice.
Here's Jay Bruce. On the first pitch, he lifts it foul and out of play. Jay Bruce, 256, 4 home runs, 17 driven in. It was kind of a yo-yo offseason for Jay Bruce. Was he going to get traded? Did he get traded? No, he didn't. Yes, he did. Well, here he is, back with the Reds. And he always has pretty good numbers.
Yeah, Brandon Phillips, the same deal. They had a deal for him going to Washington. It was all wrapped up, ready to go. And he's a 10-5 guy, so he turned it down. But it is an unsettling offseason when your name gets brought up in trades.
Absolutely.
One after another. And it never let up. Now, are they going to be here the whole year? I don't know. We'll see.
Bruce pops one out of play.
They are experienced players with a lot of postseason toughness. I mean, they're good ads. I mean, to teams that need a position player, help going down the last couple months of the season, making a charge.
Gets jammed and he rolls it to Belt, and Belt will make the play. And here's Eugenio Suarez. Suarez hitting .266. 5 home runs, 15 driven in.
And the Reds are quite happy with Suarez. I mean, he's filling big shoes. Last year, Todd Frazier, the all-star third baseman, he left in the offseason to the Chicago White Sox. Suarez has taken over the role as the everyday third baseman. He's done a nice job.
In tight. Pitch to Suarez is a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Suarez came over from the Tigers in December of 2014. 2-2. And that Alfredo Simon deal. He's paid his dues. Spent a lot of time in the minor leagues, but here he is. 2-2 pitch. Got him. It was 2-0, and then the strikeout.
Yeah, zip, zip, zip. Fastball, sliders, fastballs. Go grab some pine, meat. A little slide step, and this ball right by Suarez.
Looks like he gets a little hop on his fastball.
He does. He's got a little late movement right at the end, second stage.
I don't know how guys do that.
It has everything to do with the release, the fluidity of the wrist snap.
Here's Schebler, who takes a strike.
I mean, if you have finish on your release, you're going to have finish on your pitch as it gets to the strike zone.
Schebler fouls it back.
If you have any push in your delivery, you lose that. So when you're cracking the whip, it has to be perfect. So when you say guys that had that little second stage hop right up there at home plate, like Cueto has, it jumps at the hitter. I mean, he basically has a perfect crack of the whip going with his arm.
I don't like guys that had that. 1-2. In the dirt, Posey blocks it. He throws down to first, and that'll end the inning. 2 strikeouts the inning, 3 total. Pence coming up.
area is brought to you by Amici's East Coast Pizzeria. When you want the best pizza in town, Amici's delivers.
Well, don't miss interleague action. The Blue Jays will be in town on Monday the 9th. It's Korean Heritage Night, and then on Tuesday it's Japanese Heritage Night, and Wednesday it's day baseball at the Yard at 12:45. sfgiants.com/tickets. Come out to the Yard. Something's going on all the time. Here's Pence. Pence takes outside for a ball, 1-0. Pence struck out in the first inning. Giants will be home on Thursday. And the Rockies are in town for 4. I can't wait to get home.
You said that the very first day we got to New York, though.
No, I like it there. I like the park. I like all the people there. There's a call strike, 2-2.
Well, we do notice that if you have a 10-day road trip on the road, it feels like 2 months. If you have 10 days at home, it feels like 2 days.
It seemed like a 3-game series the last homestand. Pence out swinging for the second time. You won't be happy with that one. Here's Belt. Belt drew a walk, and once again it got the rally started. Was it Rockies for 4 and then the Blue Jays?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
Belt takes in tight. 1 ball and no strikes.
You know, it's amazing how you look at Finnegan's windup. It's so similar to a lot of the windups we've seen on this road trip. It's kind of the windup du jour. Guy gets in a stretch position, just a little half step back, and then comes up. And it just really gives a starting pitcher, or any pitcher really, a consistency to balance on that back leg and lifting that leg up. It's a very compact motion. You've seen it all around baseball. Guy, I guess, who gets the most notoriety for the first guy to do it was David Price. But you're seeing it everywhere, especially with tall pitchers. Saw it yesterday with Syndergaard, but here, Finnegan, 5'11", he uses it too.
He hits it high. He hits it deep. It is off the top of the wall, and Belt is on the move. Now it lays on the warning track for a while, and Belt's into third with a triple. I do believe Hamilton kept it from going out.
He almost caught it. It really squares this thing up, and I don't know if he's got much more than that to left center. And Hamilton almost comes up with a spectacular play. And I think Belt's a bit surprised that it didn't go out, but look how close he did to coming up with a high backhander. I mean, he was flying into the wall, and he almost makes the play of the year.
Here's Williamson with the infield in, and he takes a strike, and it's 0-1. It was a little bit more to maybe 5 or 6 feet to the right. That's where the wall is much shorter. Williamson on the ground to short. This is not going to do it. So staying at third is Belt. And here's Crawford.
Frustrating at bat for Williamson.
Very frustrating. Crawford hit a ball well right to left field. He's 0 for 1. Swing and a miss.
Good balance in that swing. He was looking for breaking ball. It does rattle your cage when you're looking for a pitch. You get it and then you swing through it.
It does. I agree. Crawford looking for a 2-out base hit. 1-2, and a foul right at home plate. Giants 3 runs on 4 hits. This will be pitch number 58 for Brandon Finnegan. Crawford skies one to center field, but Hamilton's got room, and that'll end the inning. Giants waste a 1-out triple. Tucker Barnhart coming up. Brought to you by T-Mobile. This was April 3rd, 2008. In the rain, Johnny Cueto makes his first career start. Burnsy. Chris Young struck about 4 times. Burnsy. Oh, man.
Yeah, he got Burnsy 3 times. If you strike out Eric Burns 3 times, you're doing something.
Yeah, 7 innings, 1 hit, 1 earned run, no walks, 10 strikeouts. He threw 92 pitches. Burnsy, if you're watching, we promise at some point this year we'll show you the highlight of where you hit for the cycle at AT&T Park.
We owe you one.
Yeah, we do. Tucker Barnhart stands in, 1 ball and 1 strike. He did do that, if I remember right, didn't he?
Yeah. Hot dogs here are incredible. But you got to have them with the sauerkraut and the brown mustard. He's figured it out.
You didn't see any ketchup on that dog, did you?
No.
There's a time that you and I could do that at 2 in the morning.
And sleep like babies.
Now it just goes the other way.
Yeah. It's like taking a greenie.
And a base hit to right field for Tucker Barnhart.
Well, what Johnny Cueto did in a Reds uniform for 8 years, 92 and 63, a 3.21 ERA, an All-Star once, finished 4th in the Cy Young Award in 2012, 2nd in 2014, and in 2014 a 20-game winner with a 2.25 ERA. When you do that in this ballpark, you are something special.
Belt thought about it, and Finnegan does it on 1 pitch. That's how you write it up. Good job. And here's Hamilton.
Hamilton had a good at bat his first AB against Cueto. Had a one-hop bullet to Brandon Crawford, who picked him cleanly.
Barnhart at second with one out. And a base hit. Span is going to spin and throw to second, and Hamilton slides in with a double, and it's 3-1.
Very much like the first at bat. When he hit the line drive to Crawford is short. Here he goes left center field gap. An easy score for Burkhardt at second base. And with the speed of Billy Hamilton, not close at second either. And Denard Span made a nice play to even make it relatively close. But look at the speed of Hamilton. The premier set of legs in this game.
We're watching Cueto and Tomlinson talking, and that's about how are we going to keep Hamilton close at second.
Well, I mean, he steals third as easily as he steals second.
Here's Ivan DeJesus, who singled in the first. And the first pitch high, 1 ball and no strikes. Strike.
DeJesus is trying to figure out rhythm right now because that ball's by him. He's not got that back leg time to anything that Cueto's throwing.
Pretty good pitch, but just off the plate. 2-1. He's done a good job, though, of keeping Hamilton close. But it helps when you get to home plate quickly, too.
One of the quickest of the Giant staff out of the stretch. I mean, all those things that he's doing is upsetting the timing of Hamilton at second, and it's what he does. I mean, he truly understands upsetting the timing of the hitter, and he's just doing a good job of doing the same thing to Hamilton. And how good is Hamilton at stealing third? He's only been caught 3 times in his career. He's gone 36 times. He's stolen 33 bags.
Two and two.
Right by him.
Here's that little extra we're talking about.
I mean, keeping him there with 1 out, man, that's the goal. And if you get DeJesus out, if he steals it, it's not that big a deal, but it is a big deal right now. So Cueto knows the deal. Do not want to get Hamilton to third base with 1 out.
Three and two. Tucker Barnhart opened up the inning with a base hit, then a sacrifice bunt, and Hamilton with a double. Foul back. Went right at him.
So take a little walk, hit the rosin bag. How upsetting is that for a second baseman defensively?
Yeah, you know what? Look, the older I got, the more, instead of starting out at your position and jockeying back and forth, just start out closer to the bag.
Well, that's what he's doing.
I mean, if you get normal depth away from second base and then move to second, the base runner's just going to laugh at you. Out of play, spoiled a good pitch.
You're right. That was a good 3-2 slider he fought off.
This is the 8th pitch coming up.
A lot of pitches in this inning. Cueto's having to dig deep here. That's what you have to do.
Three and two. And he walked him.
So if you ever wonder what a potential base stealer can do to the concentration of a pitcher, well, pretty good example of it right there.
Yeah, and now you got to face Votto. Votto struck out in the first, but now he's at least had a chance to know what he's going to get from Johnny Cueto. So Votto steps in and he takes a borderline strike. Gets no balls and one strike. Brandon Phillips is on deck. It doesn't now look like Hamilton has any thoughts of stealing third. He may take off right now. Two balls and one strike.
Now, if he breaks, it's going to be a foot race for Duffy, who's playing well off the bag at third. And as fast as Hamilton is, you have to hold your position as a defensive player, but at the end, it's going to be a foot race. It becomes a big pitch in this game.
Yes, it does. Two and two.
Again to that outside corner. Votto not happy about those strikes. I mean, he's not looking at plate umpire James Hoy, but he is definitely saying a few words. And if you're Cueto, if you're getting a little bit on the outside corner, get out there and take more. See how far you can go. You're going to force Votto to protect now with two strikes. Back them off. They go inside. See what Buster Posey was thinking. If that outside pitch is being called a strike, Votto's going to jump out there, and if you jump out there as a hitter to try and cover a pitch off the plate away, you're exposing yourself in.
Well, now it's, I would think, you would see the Reds runners go with Hamilton at second and DeJesus at first. They go, foul back. Crawford had thoughts of sneaking in behind and putting on a pickoff play, but Cueto was just really quick to the plate.
Crawford starts to move in as he gets to his stretch right here.
We'll do it again, 3-2. Some guys don't like to throw to the bases. It doesn't appear Cueto's one of those guys.
See the protective glove on the left hand that Hamilton wears. Having suffered a hand injury, that's how he protects himself now with a piece.
Another 3-2 pitch. Runners go. Skied into center field. Span back. Gone. And the Reds take the lead. Nobody on this team probably knows Cueto better than Joey Votto, and he just got him.
Now 3-2. He's got to challenge that strike zone. He goes right down the heart, and Votto takes on the big part of this ballpark and makes it look small.
Votto, his third home run of the year, and here's Phillips. Phillips takes a strike.
And this thing goes up to the little border of cement that they have between the two pieces of grass. That's a big boy.
So it's 0-2 now to Brandon Phillips. Still only one out. Phillips a flare and a base hit. So Phillips aboard with the flare to right field, and here's Jay Bruce.
Five pitches in this inning for Cueto. And we're about a 2-0 count away from a visit from Dave Righetti.
And a strike. Bruce bounced out to Belt in the second. He wraps one into center field. Span on the move, and Span can't get it. It bounces up against the wall. Phillips is going to score, and Bruce into third with a triple. Some loud contact by the Reds here in the third.
Now, so Righetti going to come out right now and just give him a bit of a breather. And then he's throwing 27 pitches. You don't see Cueto make many mistakes out over the middle of the plate, and he's making some here, and the Reds are making him pay for it. Set an outside target. And that's where Jay Bruce likes it. Like, yeah, those are big men with power. They want to get extended. Span almost pulls it off. It would have been a great play.
Giants will have the infield in with Eugenio Suarez at the plate. And he takes low. It's 5-3. All 5 runs for the Reds here in the 3rd.
Strikeout situation now for Johnny Cueto.
In tight, 2-0. This has been a long half inning for Cueto. On deck is Schebler, Scott Schebler.
Giants at Great American Ballpark 19-23. They've always had it a tough time winning this yard.
And the walk.
Bochy with a 7-man bullpen does not want to get that bullpen into this game this early.
Yeah, he'd like to see Cueto get into a decent rhythm and just be able to roll for a while.
Today's the first day all year that Bruce Bochy has not had an 8-man bullpen. And reluctantly, Dave Righetti making the call with Mark Gardner.
1 ball and no strikes.
So Vin Mazzaro, the chosen one, starting to get loose.
And a shot into right field, a base hit. Scoring is Bruce, and over to 3rd goes Suarez.
And that's the 6th hit this inning against Cueto. And he's allowed a couple of walks. This has not been the homecoming that he was looking forward to. The Reds have been hard on him.
And they keep getting the guy to 3rd with only 1 out. Barnhart started this all off with a base hit. Here he takes a strike.
3rd inning has been ugly on this road trip.
Yeah, was that the ugly inning in New York?
Friday night, Giants gave up 12 in the 3rd inning. Here they've given up 6.
Runner goes. Posey does not throw. It'll be a stolen base for Schebler, his 1st of the year. So get loose quick, kid.
Shouldn't take you too long on a night like tonight. Last night, yesterday, different story. Tonight, not a problem.
One and two.
Barnhart turned around to plate umpire James Hoy and asked him if that last pitch was a strike. And Barnhart said, yes, it was.
Two and two. Cueto looking for the strikeout. And this is out of play. 72 pitches now for Cueto.
Now he's really had to get deep in the gas can in this inning. He hadn't had an inning like this all year, and that includes spring training. But he also knows if he could get his team back in that dugout, this is a ballpark made for offense. Trying to keep a deficit of 3.
Got him.
And that's the strikeout he was looking for. Strikeout number 4 for Johnny Cueto. Finnegan's a pretty good hitting pitcher. I mean, he's not a duck up there.
He's 4 for 12 on the season.
A rare ball 1. Johnny Cueto got the best strike 1 ratio of anybody in the National League. Over 70%.
1 ball and 1 strike. Suarez is at third. Schebler's at second. 1 and 2. Tomlinson's going to lead off the 4th. And then Cueto, and then the top of the order. Giants will have some work to do. But right now, the 1-2 pitch. Foul back. Again, likes that high fastball.
Patience. Just have patience.
Ooh, 2 and 2.
He wanted it. Just a little bit outside. It would have been a pitcher strike. But right now he's looking for any help he can get.
Foul back. Had a pretty good rip. Cueto digging deep to get out of this. Got him. 6 runs on the board. Work to do for the Giants. It's 6-3 Cincinnati.
You buy Clipper for work, play, and all points between. Use Clipper instead of cash to pay for transit.
All right, Giants baseball live. Well, you can see it on MLB.com at bat. It's an app, and all you need to do is get it. You can stay up to the moment at any moment with game day, live game day, video highlights, StatCast news, and much, much more. Download MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone or your tablet.
You're looking right into Great American Ballpark.
Look like the mother of all storms starting to stack up behind the foul line.
It's not. Here's Tomlinson, who singled and scored in the second. Things have changed since the last time the Giants hit. They're now trailing 6-3, and there's a call strike. Johnny Cueto is on deck. Remember, Cueto had the 5-run first inning he gave up against the Dodgers. And he hung around and he got the win. He also really settled down after that first inning.
Well, he's having a nice little conversation with himself.
And there's a rocket into left center field, a base hit. Cueto got a base hit in the second inning that knocked in a pair. A little senile under the glove of Votto and under the glove of Phillips. Now they're about as good as you can get on the right side of the infield, and it got under the glove of both of them.
I mean, I don't know how. Magic. One situation here.
You got to be heads up with Phillips because he's sneaky. He was sneaking in behind Tomlinson. Two and 0.
That's when you start to squeeze it a little bit. If you're Finnegan, team's trying to give you an out. All you have to do is throw a strike to get it, and you can't get it in the strike zone.
And a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Span on deck, and then Duffy. Better chops it foul. 2-2.
So it just gives you an idea of how much confidence Bruce Bochy has in Cueto. And what determines the Butcher Boy is the aggressiveness of your corner infielders. And they're really were getting on top of Cueto, crashing down both lines.
Nope. Finnegan said, "Oh, come on."
As a rookie, it's not a really good idea. Now, he's almost completed a year in the big leagues, but he's still a young pitcher. Challenging an umpire is not a good thing.
Runner goes, strike 3 call, throw down to second. She beat it. It didn't appear that DeJesus tagged him. And DeJesus is not going to argue.
DeJesus is looking into the dugout, though. I know the Reds are looking at it. It's like Jim Riggleman, the bench coach for the Reds. And you see the look from Barnhart. I mean, just a pretty creative slide from Tomlinson to avoid being tagged. There's the strike him out on a take.
Reds are not challenging. Here's Span. With Duffy to follow.
This is significant play right here. That's close. That's the best look you had right there, and that was close. Still couldn't tell.
Right near the bag, so Votto will step on the bag. Tomlinson moves to third. I guess if you can't tell, then what we've watched over the last couple of weeks, it's not going to be changed if you can't tell.
If it's not obvious, it ain't going to change.
Here's an RBI opportunity for Matt Duffy. Bounced out to short, and he's drawn a walk. To third. Side retired. Top of the order coming up.
And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LLC.
The Reds with a 6-run third inning, and they lead 6-3. So it'll be the top of the lineup for the Reds. Billy Hamilton has bounced out, and he's doubled.
2 good at bats.
First pitch is down and in. And a strike.
You have an inning where you give up 6 runs. It is so easy for your concentration to leave the stadium. Get in a cab and drive out of here. That's one of the things that we really complimented Johnny Cueto on in that game you're talking about against. Did you say it was the Dodgers when he gave up 5 runs in the first?
Yep.
I mean, he got better, and I mean, his concentration never wavered. In his mind, he's just going out there making pitches. Well, as long as you can, as hard as you can. Hard as you can, as long as you can.
And a full count out of Hamilton.
Quite thought he had that one.
Do not want to walk this guy, and he got him.
Now 91-mile-an-hour paint right at the knees, and you're right. Given what happened in the third inning, you do not want to start this inning walking Hamilton. So that's a big pitch. Strikeout number 6, and it's absolute perfection. Posey, bang, never moves the glove.
Here's a guy that came in hitting 125, and he's hurt. Cueto. He drew a walk in the 3rd, and he eventually scored. And this is wrapped on the ground. Crawford to his left, down to a knee and up and throwing, and they got him. Make it Duffy, 2 outs. 5-3, and here's Votto.
Tell you, the way Duffy went to his left and then quickly got to his feet, I mean, he resembled the play we saw Brandon Crawford make yesterday. Spears it. He knows the Jesus can run. Slides up to an upright position, squares, and then he takes his time. Nice play.
So Votto batting for the 2nd time. Cueto got him in round 1. Votto got him in round 2. 1 ball and no strikes. Crawford playing behind second is going to throw him out, and a nice bounce back inning for Johnny Cueto. For the Giants, it'll be Buster Posey and more coming up.
Quote, this one comes from Madison Bumgarner on yesterday's win against the Mets. He says you have to do the little things. Obviously some games you can get by without that, things go your way, but if you want to be a winning team, you have to do the little things. And yesterday they did in a big win in New York.
So here's Buster Posey. Buster tonight 1 for 2. Outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Pence to follow, and then Belt. 2-0. '73rd pitch for Finnegan, and it's 3-0. And a strike. 3-1. Buster took that 3-0 pitch, but if this is a good pitch, he will not take it. Ball 4.
Ooh, and that's a mistake. 3-run lead, you walk that leadoff hitter. We were talking the other day about Steven Matz, who, young pitcher, kind of struggled a bit in the 5th inning when he had a big league in New York. And it is a different inning for young pitchers. It really is. When you want to get through that 5th inning to qualify for a win so badly, your rhythm changes, you hurry things up.
On the ground to second. Phillips' play will go to first, and they just got him.
Well, that look to second from Phillips, and all of a sudden he turned around to first base and he saw that Hunter Pitts was closing in. He had to hurry that throw.
Here's Belt. Belt's had a good game. He's walked and scored, and then he tripled off the wall in left center field in the 3rd. Swing and a miss.
Reds have good arms in center with Hamilton and right field with Jay Bruce, and they're the best assist arms.
Belt pops it up. DeJesus will put it away. And I'll leave it up to Mac Williamson here in the 5th.
Yeah, he had missed an RBI opportunity his last at bat. I'm sure he's been thinking about that. He really got jammed in a fastball up and in.
Williamson hit by a pitch in the 2nd. And he skies this one into shallow right field. Jay Bruce is going to get there, and that's going to end the inning. So the leadoff walk in the end doesn't hurt Brandon Finnegan. It remains 6-3.
and E, together building a better California.
Well, check out the Giants Grad Pack. It's the perfect gift for a graduate this spring. You get tickets to 2 Giants games plus a class of 2016 Giants cap with an orange tassel. It starts as low as $39. sfgiants.com/mini-packs. 2 games, not 1, 2 games.
2, baby.
So this is the bottom of the 5th. 6-3 Cincinnati. 1-0. Phillips is bounced out, and then he blooped a single into right field in the third. All back.
He's got an unusual swing. He's really got great play coverage middle away. He's got the kind of a swing that you think you can jam him, and you get after that inside corner and he can beat it. Good player.
He's got a healthy rip. He does not go up there and get cheated. Look out.
Just a gentle reminder, don't be leaking out and looking on that outside corner on me. Through limbo.
Three and one.
Well, this has all of a sudden become very personal between these two guys. Oh, and he pulls a string on the outside corner at the knees. That's not fair. High and tight, low and away.
You bet he does it again. That'll be foul down the right field line. Cueto is due to hit third in the bottom of the next inning. He's got 95 pitches. I don't think Belt's going to have room. Nope. It's about 10 rows back. So in this battle between these two old friends, this is the 8th pitch coming up.
96 on the night for Cueto.
Got him.
And you could hear Phillips as he swung through the changeup, and he knew that Cueto got him. 7th strikeout. So a nice comeback down to count 3-1, and here's the payoff pitch. Changeup. And an absolute pearl.
Jay Bruce is bounced out and he's tripled, and here he fouls it off the backstop.
Now that pitch right there tells you a lot about Cueto. If you think back to the last at bat that Bruce had, Cueto threw a fastball away, hit it over the head of Span for a triple. He comes right back in this at bat and starts him off with the same pitch he beat him on. He's not going to let Bruce take that pitch away from him. It's just a little bit of regaining your territory on one pitch with that fastball away to start this at bat out.
Got him. Now Cueto's 5th inning is best inning.
The way he's cruising right now through this inning, it may get him another inning. He's due to hit third at the top of the 6th. Changeup, really as good a changeup as you can throw, really. When you fool a big league hitter and get him out front like that, you've done your job with the off-speed pitch.
Torres is struck out and he's walked. And a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike.
The way he took that fastball to 1-0 count, looked like Suarez was either taken all the way or sitting on off speed because he was not ready for the fastball.
One ball and 2 strikes. Out of play. 104 pitches. Cueto.
He had a 1-2 count, left that slider up. He was not happy with himself. Not a count you want to throw a high slider with.
Cueto gets the high comebacker, and that'll end the inning. For the Giants, Crawford, Tomlinson, and we'll see if it's Cueto. Korean Heritage Night, and your package, should you choose, is a ticket to the Blue Jays game and a limited edition Korean Giants drawstring bag. That's right, that's what it looks like. It's a good one. Remember, you need the special ticket to get the bag. 415-972-2298 or visit sfgiants.com/special events. We'd have to see Russ Stanley coming back pretty soon, don't we?
Not soon enough.
I mean, Crawford with a bunt, and he rolls it foul. I mean, I think Rush actually thought that when he left after he had his heart procedure that the organization was going to fall apart, and he found out that it hasn't. Shockingly, Rush, you need to come back. There's some people out for your job.
It's true.
You know, those nice people that you hired, those are the ones.
Yeah, they want your job, big fella.
Inside to Crawford, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Russ Stanley, and Senior Vice President of the Giants organization, in charge of ticketing.
And your office now is a party office. A couple of kegs and a margarita machine.
And they store the rubber chickens there.
Crawford swings at a pitch down low, 1-2. So get back to work. Let's go. Only if you're feeling well. Giants have been able to get the leadoff hitter on. Lifted to left. Schebler on the track. Puts it away.
So Dave Righetti talking it over with Buster Posey and Johnny Cueto. I think he just gave the sign. Is that your night is over.
You will face the Rockies when?
Saturday. As Javier Lopez finishes off his warm-up throws.
You were counting pencils. I was counting fingers. On the ground, Phillips, Devato, 2 outs. And here's Gillespie. So Gillespie to hit with 2 outs. Look out. 1 ball and no strikes. Overshift is on for Gillespie. And he looks at a strike.
Stack up the right side. Gillespie's the kind of guy, though. I mean, he'll hit the ball down the third base line. He's got no problem with that. He's got good bat control.
On the ground, and look at this. That's a fair ball. And Gillespie's going to stay at first.
You can't tell me with that swing that wasn't what he was trying to do.
It sure looked like it.
They stack up the side of the field and just a little half swing, just throw it down the line. That is a thing of beauty. I mean, he's just both the arms collapsed. I mean, that's like playing Pepper right there. Giants need base runners. That's a big swing of the bat. Here comes the top of the lineup. And it puts Finnegan in the stretch. It's a kind of a bat right there that will upset a pitcher. And I think that's the reason why Brian Price sent out Mark Reagan as the pitching coach. To calm him down if indeed he was angry. But what an at bat from Gillespie.
So here's Span. And Span takes low and in, 1 ball and no strikes. There's a strike.
I'll tell you one thing, when Finnegan keeps that ball down around the knees, it's got a little juice at the end. It's got a nice little hop to it. You can see why the Reds like this guy.
On the ground to Phillips. And that's going to end the inning. It stays 6-3 Reds.
Bay Area is brought to you by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. And by Xfinity. X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience TV.
Cueto out of the game. It's 6-3 Cincinnati. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your oil change tune-up and brake experts. There's Lopez.
14th game that he is coming into. 0-1 with a 6.35 ERA. Really not indicative of how good he's been of late. High sidearm delivery, 2 types of breaking ball, fastball and changeup.
On the ground sharply to Crawford. And Schebler's out. Here's Barnhart. Barnhart in the same inning singled and struck out. He opened up the inning with a single, and then he struck out for the second out of the third inning, the inning that is the inning for the Reds where they scored 6 times. And that's foul down the left field line. Up and in. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Out of play.
Good location, that fastball.
Very good.
One thing we saw 2 springs ago, Javier Lopez brought back a changeup that he hadn't thrown in years, and it really became a great weapon for him against right-handed hitters.
And that's down the right field line. It's going to drift into the seats.
Got a man making a play.
Making a play. Read his lips. 20 years I've been coming to the yard. This is the first time I've gotten a ball.
He just won the foul ball lottery. See ya. Big breaking ball.
Here's what he said. We can see him. You read his lips. We're all good lip readers. 20 years.
That's how you're supposed to look after you catch a foul ball.
Absolutely. I mean, look,
Signing autographs.
He's not 5 years old either. He's probably what, 35?
Yeah, I'd say 35.
Chris Bochy's coming out to get Lopez. Duvall was introduced as the pinch hitter. So we're going to see Mazzaro. Lopez does his job. It's 6-3 Reds.
Brought to you by Provident Credit Union is here, and you can be part of it. They need your vote. Go to csnbayarea.com/AST, and you can help decide who will be the 2016 All-Star Teacher. The winner receives $20,000 for his or her school, so help them out. Make a vote.
So it's Vin Mazzaro facing Adam Duvall, 6'3" Reds.
Vin Mazzaro, almost 4 years of big league service.
And Duvall doesn't waste any time as he lifts one high into right field. And that'll end the inning. Through 6 innings here in Cincinnati, 6-3 Reds. Brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Pretty easy to explain this one. The Giants had a 3-0 lead, and then the Reds scored 6 times in the bottom of the 3rd inning, where Cueto threw 46 pitches. Finnegan went 6 innings, 90 pitches. Votto hit a long 3-run home run just to the right of straightaway center field. We got a new pitcher when it's time for a change. Thanks Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and brake experts. And the name of this Reds pitcher is
J.C. Ramirez, 27-year-old right-hander. He's got about a year's time at the big league level. That's what he has done in 4 games since being called up April 22nd. 6 strikeouts in 8 innings. He's got a good fastball. You'll see mid-90s fastballs with a hard slider, and he will sink and cut that fastball. Ramirez last year with Arizona traded over to Seattle, and here he is in a Reds uniform.
And here he is 2-0 to Duffy.
The Reds bullpen really has been problematic. They have not had an outing where they haven't given up a run.
Ooh, late call strike by James Hoy.
Now, better the first strike than the 3rd strike on that location. It's 19 straight games with that bullpen allowing a run. 2013 Rockies allowed a run in 20 straight games.
Duffy trying to get on for Posey, and then Pensbelt and Mac Williamson. Got him.
96 to him. I mean, I'm talking perfect location, knee high on the black. And you think back to that 2-0 strike that was called a first strike. Duffy didn't think it was a first strike, but Ramirez goes back to that same location here with 96. Duffy had to get out there and protect it. He couldn't get to it.
Yes, he did.
And that's how an umpire can influence an at-bat.
So Buster Posey, who singled in the first, struck out in the second, walked in the fifth. Wraps this one into left field for a base hit. Mister loves those fastballs that have high velocity.
It's a big inning for the Giants. The heart of their lineup coming up, down 3.
Pence is 0 for 3. Giants need some more base runners. Out of play, high down the right field line, into the seats. Outside corner.
Man, that is perfection right there at 97. Pence, National League Player of the Week last week, has really done well with driving that outside location. And he goes back out there again with 97-mile-an-hour paralysis, and that was probably a half a ball away from the previous pitch, which was called a strike. What a great pitch.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Posey with his lead. Votto holding him tight. Ramirez gets the sign, and Posey, or make that Pence, hammers one into center field, and it's off the wall. Posey's on the move. He's going to stop at third. Into second is Pence.
Oh, a nice 2-strike at bat there from Hunter Pence. They set an outside target. This thing comes across middle in, just a mislocation, and in a 2-strike count, Hunter Pence says, yeah, that's where I like it. And even the speed of Hamilton could not get back quick enough to catch that ball. It was a bullet.
So here's Belt. Belt has walked, he's tripled, and he's popped out. Overshift is on for Belt. Nobody at the shortstop position. And Belt lines it foul down the right field line. Belt knew right away that that was not going to be a fair ball.
Well, he got his souvenir early.
There's our Giants guy. So 0-1.
He looks like he's the life of the party down there.
Look out. Ramirez taking a long time. Now he's ready, and now timeout is called.
I like that look from behind home plate. You get a chance to see the batter's eye out center field, and then there's a restaurant where it's black above the yellow center field line. And then you have the riverboat on top, which is just so cool when you're right next to the Ohio River. The Pilot House. They did a great job in this ballpark. Fun place to see a game.
So it's 2 balls and a strike now to Belt. Big at bat for the Giants here in the 7th. J.C. Ramirez. 3-1. The thing about Belt is he is not going to expand. He's not.
He won't.
In a lot of ways, he's like Joey Votto. He's not going to expand.
See the highest bullpen ERA, and this is Major League Baseball. Reds ERA 6.16. As they've tried to work through their problems, they have not found the formula yet.
Well, we'll see if he challenges Belt here. 3-2.
Pretty good pitch. I mean, that was 96 on the inside corner. He swung over the top of, and he turned around immediately to James Hoy, and Belt wanted to know if it was a strike.
That might be one where Belt cheated a little bit to see if he can knock one out. And it's in the left field, and that's going to be a base hit. Posey's going to score, and it's 6-4.
So 20 consecutive games that the Reds bullpen has given a run, and the Giants getting closer. A nice that's two strike at bats in a row now. The Giants get a little life.
So here's Mac Williamson, who's in a spot. So not going to run by making it out. It's Mark Riggins having another chat.
One thing as a catcher, I mean, you're going to hear some great speeches. You're going to hear some chewing out. You're going to hear some quick fix suggestions.
That's why catchers are good broadcasters. They remember all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And they're good managers.
Bob Brenly, case in point.
He did it, but he did both.
So we saw something that hasn't happened since 1900. Well, I guess it happened in 2013, but for bullpens to allow runs in 20 consecutive games, yeah, that's historical.
Hey, Gregor Blanco's hitting. So Blanco to step in and hit for Mac Williamson. Pence at third. Belt at first, a run in. And a soft toss, and Belt really isn't even off the bag. 6-4.
Bruce Bochy wants that run bad at third base. And I think he figures that he has a better chance of staying out of double play with Blanco than he did with Mac Williamson. And Blanco's been swinging the bat well.
There's a strike.
Blanco thought it was away. But that's not the first time we've seen that pitch called a strike tonight.
Not close. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And you see what Barnhart, the catcher for the Reds, is doing. I mean, if you're going to get a wide strike, you sit out there. Especially with a hard thrower like J.C. Ramirez.
Ramirez now is going to rub up the baseball.
Crawford on deck.
Two and one. Nope, 3-1.
And now Ramirez wants to know where was that. He just called it a strike on the first pitch. Set an outside target, just a little bit wide.
We'll see if he goes back out there again. Instead, he will chase Belt back.
Activity.
Drew Hayes.
One of 6 right-handers in that Reds pen.
3-1. Out of play, 3-2. Pence at third, Belt at first, 3-2. We'll see what Belt does. He goes. Foul, out of play. Another fastball right in the hit me area for Gregor Blanco.
If you're not running on the pitch and you're Brandon Belt at first base, it's going to be awfully difficult to score on a gapper. It just tells you 2 things. One, this ballpark is pretty small, but number 2, the Reds sew up these gaps really well. They've got good speed in the outfield. It's not easy to score from first base even on a double.
Belt started to go, but Ramirez a soft toss to first. Blanco back in the box. Pence at third, Belt at first, Ramirez looking in, and now everybody's ready. Belt goes, and a shot into right field. That's a base hit. Coming in to score is Pence. To third goes Belt. Blanco comes through. It's 6-5.
Another 2-strike money hit for the Giants. Really a nice job from Jay Bruce going to his right to cut that ball up. A challenge fastball, and he just goes down and rakes it. That's going to be the last pitch that J.C. Ramirez throws. What an at-bat from Blanco, and look at Bruce going over, cutting it off. And watch the reaction from the dugout.
So Blanco comes through. Crawford's coming up. We got a new pitcher. It's 6-5 Reds, and we'll be back. SFN.com. Log on each week is insider Alex Pavlovich. He's going to talk baseball with players, coaches, special guests, and a lot more. Insider podcast, Alex Pavlovich on CSNBayArea.com. Oh, by the way, it's also available on iTunes. I think you've hit it if you can get it on iTunes.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
I mean, do you have anything that you can get on iTunes?
I can't even get iTunes on iTunes.
You're still looking for that app store on Market Street.
Yeah, I think it's over there by Montgomery. Meanwhile, there's a new pitcher here for Cincinnati. It's Drew Hayes. 4th game that he's coming into up through the organization. And really a rookie with 0 experience coming into this year. He's a sinker slider guy. He's the guy that can get you a ground ball, and that's what Brian Price is looking for.
Well, Crawford's got 3 fly balls. And here he takes a rip and he fouls it back. Was that a slider? Looked like it at 82.
Right out of bed. Sinker slider. And he'll throw the slider about as much as he throws the sinker. He also has a changeup he'll feature every once in a while. More to lefties than righties.
2 fly balls to left for Crawford and a fly ball to center field. Belt is at 3rd. Blanco is at 1st. And now they'll chase Blanco back. It's going to get a little chilly here, Mikey.
It's supposed to get down low 50s tonight.
Hayes pauses. Almost hit Crawford on the front leg. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Situation is such that you want to get a fly ball deep enough to score the runner. With Brandon Belt, you're going to need medium depth on the fly ball, especially with the arm strength of Hamilton in center and Bruce in right. They've got good arms. Schebler has an accurate arm. It's not that strong, but it's accurate.
Nope. 2-1. Blanco looks like he may have thoughts about going, but I think you kind of want to leave that hole between 1st and 2nd.
Well, especially against a pitcher that likes his slider against lefties. That movement's coming in, and that's a pitch you could pull. Those throwovers being called by the Reds bench.
Giants now with 10 hits in the game. They've had 4 this inning. High and deep into right center field. It is out of here. And Crawford gives the Giants the lead. Crawford.
5 straight hits for the Giants.
So here's Tomlinson, and he takes a strike.
And I think he beat a changeup. And if you're a sinker slider guy, and those are your pitches you need. You're going to get ground balls with. You're going to get asked if you get beat on a changeup. Take a look at the location. A changeup right out over the plate at the belt, and Brandon Crawford was not fooled 1 inch. And there is carry all over this field. And he takes on right center. Watch Billy Hamilton. He almost went up in the bleachers to get it.
Yeah, I don't trust that guy.
No, I don't either.
Fouled off the backstop.
He's number 1.
He's got the big finger, man. That guy points and says, "Go that way." I go that way.
I'm right with you.
Got him.
So one more look from the side at the high mistake. And Brandon Crawford jumps all over it and watch the reaction from the bench. Eureka.
So here's Mazzaro. Threw one pitch.
Well, he may also be up there with, and he may have been told, do not swing.
Or maybe the question was, can you hit? And the answer was, well, then do not swing.
Well, he's got 3 big league hits, so he's a threat.
3 for what?
17.
Oh, you're right. He is.
176.
If he goes 3 for 3, check it out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
After a while, look, that guy would annoy me. I do believe if I was a Reds fan. I'm sorry. Here's the home run by Crawford. It's bye-bye, baby. And the Giants lead 8-6. He would annoy me. Taking the lead, so Vin Mazzaro, who threw 1 pitch to get the last out in the 6th, he'll throw more pitches here in the 7th, and he gets to do that to Billy Hamilton. Blanco, who had a big pinch hit, stays in the game. He's in left field.
Changeup. Mazzaro will give you different looks. He said every fastball he throws basically is a 2-seam fastball to take advantage of his sink. He has a slider and a changeup.
Hold the bat back. It's high. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Mazzaro opened up some eyes in camp. Giants know that he's an experienced big league arm. He didn't have a spot for him in spring training, so they asked him to go down to Sacramento. He did and just lit it up. I mean, he was really throwing the ball well down there.
Well, he needs to throw a strike here. He cannot walk Billy Hamilton.
You cannot walk Billy Hamilton.
was strike one, and since then he hasn't thrown one since. On the ground, Duffy. 1 out.
Well, explain this play to me. You're playing so shallow in respect of the bunt from one of the fastest guys in baseball, and he takes a full swing at you. What are you thinking if you're Duffy?
Well, you're thinking, please don't hit it right at me. I'd like to be off to the side a little bit, and that's exactly what happened.
I mean, his feet never really moved. He just sort of leaned to the right, stuck his glove down, gobbled her up.
It's like you're playing Pepper. We'll explain what Pepper is to our viewers. Here's DeJesus. It's a game played anywhere from 1 to 10 infielders, outfielders, pitchers, doesn't matter. And they just toss the ball to a hitter, and he just kind of half bunts to the players that are catching the ball. It's pepper. They pepper it. The hitter peppers it back to them.
Yeah,
and
usually
it's a great game.
Four guys, in front. They stand in a line, and the hitter stands opposite. And not very far. You're only like 20 feet away from the guy.
And then it became obsolete when it was probably about 20-25 years ago. You'd come out the field where you used to play pepper, and they'd have a sign hanging on the backstop that said "No pepper." No pepper.
And it's such a great game to learn bat control.
And it killed it.
We had a high school coach. That's how he picked his team. The guys who played the best pepper.
Trouble. Fair. And it bounces around, and DeJesus has got a blue pit. And that's significant because now the Beef are coming up. Bruce Bochy's coming out. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your oil change tune-up and brake experts. Right at the top of the hour at 4, and you can see it right here on CSN Bay Area. Jeff Samardzija, he will be on the hill for the Giants. Game 2 of the 3-game series. Oh, and complete pre- and post-game coverage. And Giants insider Alex Pavlovich. How about that?
Well, yeah.
The Osich-Votto confrontation right now, and Osich is going to have to throw strikes to Votto because he's going to work him. And there you see the numbers for Osich. They're pretty good.
15th game that he has come in. Back in the 3rd inning. This was the big swing of the bat for the Reds when Joey Votto homered off of Johnny Cueto. It would be a 6-run third inning, and he crushed it.
So Votto facing Osich, and Osich will throw a strike to Belt. Here's a strike. Seventh inning. Giants just dropped a 5 spot in the top of this inning. One ball and 1 strike.
Did not miss by much. The thing about Osich, when you look at the mid to high 90s velocity, is he doesn't throw 4-seam fastballs very often. They're normally 2-seam fastballs, and you get more velocity with a 4-seamer. So that's high velocity with a 2-seam fastball.
1 and 2.
And he just threw one by Votto, and that's not that easy to do. Johnny Cueto found that out in the 3rd inning.
This is a puzzle now for Votto.
Osich also has a slider and a changeup. Everything he has can strike you out. .96 him across the letters. It's really tough to get Votto to swing how the strikes are. I mean, he's got a good eye, and he will take walks.
Two balls, 2 strikes. So here we go, 3 and 2.
Now, I mean, 0-2 to a 3-2 is something that's very common when you watch Votto hit every day. Brandon Phillips on deck. He wants another fastball.
Crawford, Tomlinson, Belt, double play, and that'll end the inning. 8th inning coming up. You're going to get highlights, reaction, analysis, and it's all coming up right after the game. They weren't happy for a while. Now much happier as Span takes a call strike. Span in the game is 0 for 4. One ball and one strike. Nope, in tight, not by much. 2-1. Giants with 3 in the second. And then the Reds with 6 in the third, and the Giants almost matched that with 5 in the seventh. 3 balls and 1 strike. Span on the ground up the middle, and Phillips got a glove on it, but it's going to be a base hit.
He didn't have a lot of time. Man, that's a pretty good indication of how fast this infield can be.
Yeah.
There was a time I thought Brandon Phillips had the best range of anybody at second base in the National League. Gold Glover. I think D. Gordon has taken over that that claim to having the most range. But basically, if Phillips can't get to it, it can't be got.
Here's Duffy. Duffy's 0 for 3. Drew a walk in the second.
Phillips is kind of walking around gingerly, taking a little inventory after he had to dive.
Takes low.
Aren't there many jobs that require you to dive?
It's fun though. It's fun when you're young and you can dive and you hit the ground and it doesn't hurt. I dove today and it was bad.
Well,
it was bad. Hit out of play. Don't ask me why I dove, but here's what happened to Phillips.
All right, take a look at the dive.
That looked like a soft landing.
It did. It didn't look like it jarred him too much, but he doesn't look like he's too enthusiastic about having to do it.
Duffy on the ground, maybe a pair. High throw. Got him there. Got him there. Ah, he's safe at first.
Yeah, I tell you what, that was almost a spectacular play from Brandon Phillips, because he got a high feed from DeJesus. And the fact that he even got any out, I'm not even sure if he did touch the base at second. They're going to look at that. Now, he definitely touched the second base. But in trying to reach out and catch the throw, Votto pulled his foot off the bag. So
it was a good play by Phillips at second. So here's Buster Posey.
one more look at the high feed, off balance throw, and a high flip there. And in catching the ball, he actually glanced down to see where the bag was so that he could step on it. And maybe the Reds want to take a look at first base.
Or second, maybe. On the slide.
Yeah, you're right. Let's take a look at the slide, which here we go again. No, there's no way that that's going to be an illegal slide. Of course, you know, why not? Why not challenge everything the way we've seen the ruling? Oh, they may have thought that he may have touched the base with his heel.
Yeah.
At first base.
So Buster Posey's going to hit with Duffy at first.
This man tries to put as much heat on. I mean, before the rule has changed, you could go on the left side of the base. Now you have to slide in towards the base.
We think.
We kind of think. But it's pretty funny. The coaches know the rule book back and forth, upside down. And you go in there and have a discussion. You say, well, you explain to me what the rule is. And they can't. And they tell you, we don't know. That tells you where it is on the rule interpretation around baseball.
That Dave Fleming had the best response to all the stuff at second was #Uncle.
Yeah, I give.
Oh, and 1 to Posey. Down low. Buster a couple of hits, 1 in the first, 1 in the 7th. The 7th came with 1 out, and it got the ball rolling. Penston a double, Belt a single, Blanco a single, and then Crawford topped it off with a 3-run home run. Posey on the ground, and this could be a pair. And it will. So Hayes gets the double play ball, and Phillips is going to lead things off.
On top of the Reds, 8-6 as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. That hat looks good in whatever state you're in. Josh Osich getting set to work another inning. And it's going to be Brandon Phillips going to check in. Phillips on the night, 2 for 4, a couple of singles.
So here's Osich to Phillips. And Phillips wastes no time, and it's hit right out to Pence, who puts it away.
You just do not trust any fly ball in this ballpark.
No, you don't. And then when it gets warm, then you trust it even less.
Oh, when it gets warm. Definitely one of the liveliest ballparks in the big leagues. Totally favors the hitter.
Here's Jay Bruce. And Bruce bounces this one to Belt. So Belt gets it on a big hop. You can see what these left-handed hitters, after watching Osich, are thinking. I'm gonna. If I get a fastball and I can hit it, I'm swinging at it. Because he's got to look nasty if you've never seen him before from the dugout.
Oh, you're right. I mean, and he is.
I mean, he is nasty.
I mean, when a guy's got 3 pitches he can strike out with, that's nasty. And Josh Osich can make that claim.
So here's Suarez. Takes a pitch just outside. Suarez reached once in this game, and that was by way of a walk. And here he's ahead on the count, 2-0. You and I at the last second decided to take our heavier jackets.
It's a good thing.
It is a good thing. There's a called strike.
I mean, that's 97-mile-an-hour two-seam fastball. And he's not grunting on every throw either. He's not a max effort guy. I mean, he's just big and strong and throwing at a speed that he can control. And this has been the message from Dave Righetti.
Foul.
Base on ball is about the only blemish on the report card of Josh Osich. Osich came into this game and he had 4 walks and 11 1/3, but he had a lot of counts where he would create hitter counts because he didn't have great command with the fastball. And now, with Righetti telling him you don't have to overthrow everything, he slowed it down a bit.
Out in front, and it's going to be Crawford, and that'll end the inning. 7-pitch inning for Osich.
It's brought to you by Honda. We think Brandon Crawford is that gentleman today. Why? Well, he stepped up after the Giants were down, and he does this. A 3-run shot, and that came in the 5-run 7th inning for the Giants. And when you do that, you are our player of the game. Brought to you by Honda.
He definitely got both cheeks into that one.
Yeah, he did.
And here's Pence. Pence takes away outside. Pence drove a ball over the head of Hamilton, which is hard to do, as he came up with a double in the 7th inning. He's 1 for 4. 2 balls and no strikes. Belt on deck. Nope, 3-0.
And he will green light.
Let's see if Hunter Pence chooses to take a rip at this one. He does not. It's 3-1.
You don't want to swing at that one anyway.
And the walk. Probably not how Hayes wanted to start out this 9th inning. Here's Belt. We easily could have chosen Brandon Belt as player of the game. Belt's been on 3 times. He's got a triple, he's got a single, he's got an RBI, and he scored twice. That's a pretty good night. And he may not be done yet. Overshift is on for Belt, and he'd like nothing more than a hit one right where the shortstop's supposed to be playing.
Barnhart going to come out and talk to Drew Hayes. I don't think he liked the way he threw that last changeup.
I don't either.
I mean, we saw the guy throw 3 ground balls last inning. And this is a ground ball situation. I don't even know why he's throwing a changeup when he's got a good slider sinker combination. That's what's going to get ground balls. The home run that he gave up to Brandon Crawford was on a changeup. And that was a ground ball situation, runner at first and third, 1 out.
And the 2-0. And Hayes hits the corner. Blanco's on deck. Hoover. J.J. Hoover is in the bullpen.
Belt thought that was high.
Here's Casilla. Belt on a check swing. Rolls that one in front of the Giants dugout where manager and 3 coaches are standing. Now Suarez is playing at the shortstop position. Nobody at third. Blowing into Belt, 3-2.
He's like an automatic 3-ball count.
You can't be. You're right. By the way, 13,829 here tonight. Pence is back. It's likely he's going to go. Goes swinging a shot, and it's past DeJesus into center field. And with Pence going, it got DeJesus to move just a little bit, and that was enough. And for Belt, his 3rd hit.
Have a night, Brandon Belt. Boy, that's all it took. If Pence is not running on the play, DeJesus holds his ground, and that's a double play. As soon as DeJesus had his momentum going to the bag, it was too late. As hard as that ball was hit, he couldn't come back and regroup. So instead of a double play, they get a no outs runner at first and third, and here comes Brian Price, and that's it for Drew Hayes.
So Hayes departs, a pat on the back, but it's time for a change. Think Speedy, oil change and auto service, your oil change tune-up and brake experts. and that's J.J. Hoover. He's a big fella.
He is a big fella. It's the 11th time that he's come in, and he's had some hard times. 16 hits allowed, 8 2/3. He was the closer for the Reds when they left spring training. He's got a save, but a 15.58 ERA tells you that he has been rocked. When he's on, I mean, you're going to see a fastball that's low to mid-90s. He's got a curveball, slider, changeup. Give you 4 looks. Pence saw that ball right in front of him, knew it was a free ticket to third base.
Here's Blanco. Gregor Blanco had a pinch hit RBI single in the 7th. Reds will pull the infield in, and a breaking ball not close. 1-0. Crawford on deck. Giants trying to add on. They got 13 hits in this game. There's a strike. 92 to Blanco.
There you see how they set the infield. Hoover more of a fly ball strikeout type guy. Said big guy, and you're right about Hoover. 6'3", 250. 4-year veteran.
It's 3-1 to Blanco. So now Blanco with a count 3-2. Belt may take off. We will see what happens.
Two-strike hitting tonight for the Giants has been very good.
So this is not going to do it with DeJesus going out into shallow left field. 1 out, and here's Crawford. So Blanco will be disappointed in that. Crawford 1 hit and 4 at bats, and that was the 3-run home run in the 7th. Foul out of play. A challenge from Hoover.
Ooh, he was looking for it too. He was looking for it. I mean, it sets it up for Crawford to have an incredible night right here.
Boy, another rip again, and it's 0-2.
Change up, and he was on it. Saw that all last year. I mean, for Brandon Crawford, a breakout season. Led the team in home runs. But all year long, every month, it just seemed like he was so balanced. Just so hard to get reaching in his swing. Always stayed back on his back leg.
The target is in, and it's in the dirt. Nice block. It's 1-2. Pence at third, Belt at first. Hoover pauses, and Crawford has got a base hit. Coming in to score is Pence, Belt will stop at second, and Brandon Crawford does it again. It's 9-6. Got in on him just a little bit, but he muscled it out into the outfield.
Another good two-strike at bat. High fastball, kind of a bent arm swing through it. Finds the opposite gap.
So that run put on the ledger of Drew Hayes, and here's Tomlinson. "14 hits for the Giants. Tomlinson 2 for 4. Trevor Brown is in the on-deck circle.
The book coming into this series was get to the bullpen, and that has really been true to the report tonight.
Hamilton got a good jump on this one. He's going to put it away. Nice at bat from Tomlinson.
Yeah, he's hit the ball well tonight. 2 hits coming into that at bat, and that was a bullet.
And here's Brown. Brown hitting at .267. He's got 3 home runs. He's got 8 runs batted in. And he watches a high breaking ball, 1-0. Jeff Samardzija tomorrow night. Jake Peavy on Wednesday.
Humor in uniform.
On the ground to short. And this will end the inning. Giants pick up a run. We'll head to the bottom of the 9th. It's 9-6 San Francisco. Six runs, 8 hits for the Reds. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your oil change tune-up and brake experts.
So save opportunity here now for Santiago Casilla. He has 4 saves on the season. 1-0 with a 2.08 ERA, 10 strikeouts in 8 2/3 innings. 2 types of movement on the fastball, low to mid-90s with a curveball, slider, changeup combination.
First hitter that Casilla will face will be Schwebler, who's 1 for 3. And on the first pitch, it's lifted high and foul and out of play.
I'll tell you what, the Reds do not wait around. See ball, hit ball.
Down low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Swing and a miss. 1 and 2.
That's a good curveball right there.
I mean, the Conforto curveball?
Well, that's the only. I mean, Michael Conforto, the left fielder with the Mets, really torched the right-handed pitching for the Giants in that series in New York. Madison Bumgarner calmed him down. But then Casilla comes in and gets him out and threw 2 of those curveballs, and he swung and missed. And we didn't realize that. Well, got him.
It's right there what you were talking about.
That's a good curveball. Same one he threw yesterday to Conforto to get him. And I'd like to say that Conforto has a weakness against curveballs, but that's a good curveball right there. You don't see many like that one.
So here's Tucker Barnhart, and this is bounced to Kelby Tomlinson, who's going to make the play. Jordan Pacheco is going to hit. Giants saw a lot of Jordan Pacheco when he was in Denver and then in Arizona. Hitting .227 as Casilla starts him off wide. Giants are up in this game 3-0, and they were down in this game 6-3. Pacheco out of the box, but now back in. Fouled out of play to even the count.
Still cutter at 88. I mean, he can just give you so many different looks that are quality.
Breaking ball again. We might be seeing Casilla throw that pitch a lot more.
Well, the way it's working right now, I mean, he's in total command with it. And he's not missing up with it ever. And it's late, it's quick. It's kind of breaking ball to keep that thing down. I mean, you're either going to swing or miss or beat it into the ground.
He beats it into the ground. It's 2-2. Giants lost the first 2 games on this road trip, and now they're trying to even things up with a win here tonight. Two balls, 2 strikes.
Burying that fastball in on his hands, and that's 2-seam movement on the fastball.
Casilla looking into Buster Posey. Hamilton would hit if Pacheco extends this inning. Got him, and that's the ball game.
Wow. Paint.
So the Giants come back after a 3-0 lead. Lead by 3, trail by 3, win by 3. So nice ball game today.
Well, and especially nice for the offense to be down 6-3 going into the 7th inning and to come up with 6 runs. I mean, they really flexed their muscles with the bats. And we saw this confidence the last 2 games in the Mets series with the Giants lineup. And tonight they were fantastic.
So Johnny Cueto will end up with a no decision. But the bullpen comes through for the Giants. The bullpen did not come through for the Reds. Final score, Giants 9, Reds 6. Stay tuned. Esurance Giants postgame live. That's all going to start.